Hello listeners and fellow Game Pass fans, get yourself set and ready for your favourite unofficial Game Pass podcast, Game Pass News. So I'll hand you over to Nick and Sean and get the show started.
Welcome to Game Pass News, recorded live Thursday, February 9th, 2023. I'm Nintendo, one half of the awesome GPN crew. Mr. Sean Abbott, the Biscuit Lord from across the pond, is the other half. This week we talk about more Redfall news, more acquisition news, more directs, but Nintendo, not the developer direct this time. And we give away more Game Pass subs, more. Sit down, buckle up, because Game Pass news is one crazy ride. Oh, Sean, by the way, I normally give you a heads up. I didn't this time. But that's a new one. Do you know what it is? Start playing it in the background for you.
Yeah, go on, dude, because it was just winding up.
Yeah, I know. Actually, it was funny. I was like, I'm just going to leave it right there. People are going to be like, waiting for the crescendo. And I'm going to be like, nope, you're not getting it. Sorry.
It sounds really marvelly. I was like expecting some kind of like.
Kind of does. But it's not. It's not.
No.
Actually, to be honest, to be real honest, it's more generic than I thought I'd hear it and I'd be like, yeah, I remember that. But I was like, no,
That saves me now because I'm clueless. I wouldn't even know where to start asking questions.
Okay, so it's a Microsoft Studios game. Okay.
Not many of them.
First in a series. Okay. I had information up, but then I restarted my computer and forgot that was one of the tabs that I brought up. Now it's not there anymore. Anybody in the chat have any ideas? Originally came out September of 2004.
September 2004. Mm-hmm. It's not Fable, is it? Fable was.
It totally is Fable. The original theme for Fable. Yeah, it's very like generic. I thought I'd really recognize it, but I didn't at all. I was like, oh, okay. So
no, I wouldn't take that. I'm not going to take that as a win because I had to be pushed in that direction. But I got a good guess for the year.
Yeah,
2004 for the year.
Yeah. No, I mean it wasn't. I really thought it would be easier, and I was like, oh no, I wouldn't get this. So don't feel bad. I just totally randomly thought that would be much easier than what it was. Sir, how you doing, man? How's life?
Yeah, it's good. Busy. Lindsay had a surgery Monday, so it's been pretty much a week of looking after children and looking after a very sore wife. She's doing okay though. We're getting there. Just this first week's very much minimalized amount of movement. And she's not. I think it's like for 4 to 6 weeks not allowed to lift anything heavier than 2 pounds. So
that's
it's literally like, yeah. She has this big 2-liter water bottle that I usually freeze on a night, freeze a quarter of it and then put cold water in, and then it keeps it nice and cool for the entire for the day. And I made that for her and kind of like put it. She sat there and went, I don't think I'm going to be able to lift that.
yeah, that's for sure. You have to get
she tried, and she said that she literally, as she picked it up, she could feel the strain in the bottom of her back straight away. And she's like, I was like, oh yeah, crap.
Yeah, how much does 8 ounces of water weigh?
How much can water is usually lift? gram per milliliter, isn't it? So
no idea. You know more than me, apparently.
So 2,000 milliliters, which is 2 liters, is 2 kilograms. So
okay, so 16 ounces of water weighs 1 pound. So she can lift 32 ounces, basically. That's what she gets.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which isn't a lot.
No, it's not.
So-
Not at all. And I mean, that's the water. That's not like this is a metal cup. Probably weighs a pound in by itself. I mean, like she's gotta have to put it in paper cups to cut down on the weight.
Yeah, and Ebisol's in the chat saying that they're that you guys aren't in the metric. So yeah.
Yeah. Sean and I just talk at each other a lot. Sean's like, hey, listen, it's something Celsius. I'm like, I know what that means, but it's something Fahrenheit. And he's like, I don't know. So then we decide to look it up finally or something, and we're just like, we just talk measurements together and act like we know what we're talking about. We really don't know what the hell the other one says, but it's okay. We have fun.
It's
man.
It's like we both speak English, but two completely different versions of it.
It's totally true. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel like I should know what that is in Fahrenheit, but I really don't. I mean, I just learned that it was like what I just learned and I forgot. I just learned a few weeks ago. Was it -40 where we come together, we meet? Was that the?
Yeah,
Fahrenheit
eventually,
system? Yeah. See, look at that. Michigan worked on it.
The interesting side of it is that it's not linear either. So like 0 degrees is 32 Fahrenheit. It's not like you can't just add 32 to each degree because it just get ridiculous.
I know. Yeah, it's like, man, I don't know. I mean, I don't even care if we
Everybody
go with
should work in
Celsius, to
Kelvin.
be honest, Sean. Yeah, I don't even care if we go with Celsius. I just wish we could all be on one thing. Like, I'm happy to give up Fahrenheit. I have no dog in that fight. Like, I don't know who Fahrenheit is and why it matters. I'm happy to go to Celsius, but it'd be great if we could all just be on one thing. That would be fantastic. But
how are you anyway, dude? How are you doing?
pretty good. It's been a busy day doing one thing basically. I had to work this morning, had a couple meetings, and then it was like I built this loft bed that my son, he calls her Yaya. So his Yaya and great grandma bought him this loft bed, and it was up to me to put it together. He's out with them having a good time, spending the night at his Yaya. So when he comes home tomorrow, he's gonna have this brand new loft bed. And so he's going to be super stoked. Saves a lot of room. He doesn't have a huge bedroom, pretty small. And so now he's going to have a ton more space, and he has this cool little like nook area he can make his own, and he's going to love it. So I'm excited for him. But it was a lot of work. So luckily my father-in-law came over, helped me out for a while too. So otherwise I probably would just be getting done with it, to be honest. So that's been my day. And drone work is real work, Ebicel. Thank you very much. But no, you're right. I did real work. The work that I get paid to do, not the work that I hopefully will get paid to do at some point. The work that I actually get paid to do.
So let's talk about what happened yesterday with the Nintendo Direct.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Usually when something like this happens, we usually sit like either in a Zoom meeting or we're texting back and forth, but you couldn't watch it live. I fortunately could watch it live. I dropped in and listened to the Nintendo dads for a little bit, and then their chat was getting too much for me to listen to the people talking about the game and the thing that we were watching on TV. So I kind of just switched to the Nintendo one and listened through. So what did you think? Because I woke up to a few messages from you about what you had highlighted and stuff like that. So
you answered my question.
Let's elaborate.
So for anybody, you guys, you gotta understand. This is great. Like I started watching, I opened up Discord, and Sean had said like an hour and a half before, like, hey, let me know when you've watched it. Obviously, between when he said that and when I started watching it, he had gone to bed. So basically, I just live reacted the direct to a sleeping Sean. That's what I did. I was just like, kept sending him messages. I'm glad you had it on silent, because I probably sent you like 15 private Discord messages like, oh, that game's, I don't know, I'm kind of bored. I haven't found anything. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I like this. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna keep sending these. He's either got it on no notifications, or he's like by now throwing it out the window, and it's like cussed me out.
Just while we're in the domain of Nintendo, I'm going to show this now for people that are watching us live. The Princess Peach Rainbow Road movie poster has been released.
Oh man, That looks fantastic.
Super Mario Bros.
I love it.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. So I'll say that, and I'll stick it in the Discord as well for people that end up listening to this as a podcast. So, but yeah, that Rotten Tomatoes just dropped that, so that's cool.
That's awesome. I mean, I thought there was a lot of stuff released, or a lot of stuff like previewed. Out of that, there's probably like there's 36 games is what Nintendo told me in an email that they released. Out of that, there's probably like 6, and that's a fair amount. And it's only supposed to, as long as it's only for the first half of this year, sure. I mean, okay. I'm excited for Pikmin. I'm excited for Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a graphics guy, but I didn't think it looked great. I thought it looked a little muddy. I mean, nobody else said that, so maybe I'm on my own island on this one, but or at least I didn't see anybody else say that on like Discord or anything. But I don't know.
It didn't look as well polished as Breath of the Wild did. When you first boot Breath of the Wild and you come out of the cave that you've been sleeping in for the 100 years that you've been asleep, and you step out of that first initial reaction of looking at the whole of Hyrule as we now know it. That was amazing. I didn't get that feeling with Tears of the Kingdom, but it's still got 3 months to be polished and cleaned up. And do you really want to show all your cards in one go? So.
No, but don't you want to show that it's gonna pop on this? I mean, I don't know. Maybe now. And I listen. I've been in the Xbox realm for a while. I'm playing Hogwarts, and it's dang pretty. Okay, not gonna lie. Even on my little itty bitty underpowered S. Okay, so maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm changing. But I just remember seeing Breath of the Wild and thinking, dang, this looks good. Like real good. And I didn't get that feeling from Tears. And maybe I am changing as a gamer as I play these, more higher resolution games. I don't know. That's a legit like conversation I'm kind of having with myself right now. But yeah, when I looked at it, I was just like, that don't look great. I mean, it doesn't even, I don't know. It just maybe looks good and maybe not even that much. So whatever, but the game will be great. So it doesn't matter. I mean, I'll still play it and I'll still love it. And so that's fantastic. You're the Pikmin man. I mean, if John's listening, John, Pikmin 4 looks like maybe it can overtake Tinykin. We're really rooting for it to be the game. So that's my hope, but so we don't know yet. We have to see. So, what did you think of it?
I don't know. I'm going to go from the end of the video to the beginning of the video because the stuff at the end of the video, which kind of makes the stuff at the beginning of the video make a bit more sense for me.
Okay.
And are they getting rid of the fact that when it gets to nighttime, you have to run away and like scurry everything away? Is that the red-eyed monsters or wildlife that's around? Mm-hmm. Does that mean that they're just going to be more aggressive on a night, but we are going to get the opportunity to do stuff on a night now on Pikmin 4? The whole dog thing, I thought that was they're just pulling on the strings of people who want animals that you can control in games.
Sure.
And then they've thrown in a frozen an ice Pikmin. They didn't show off any of this whole auto selection of like our easy grouping of Pikmin and stuff like that. They didn't show any of that off. So I'm still kind of like, Tinykin has that over it. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna play it because I like that style of games. So
yeah, I'm I liked it. I like, obviously the beginning and the end was good. I want to check out this Game Boy stuff. It could be great. I might not care. I'm not really sure. I didn't own a Game Boy. I have no nostalgia for it, really. Maybe I'll pick out, and I didn't own a Game Boy Advance. Like, legit, my first handheld in the Nintendo world was a Switch. So, I'm going to go check out and see. Maybe I'll fall in love with these games that I've never played. Maybe I won't care. I don't know.
I think the first Game Boy I ever had was a Game Boy Advance, and I loved it. The thing that you think I'd be most excited to play and will have played lots of, I haven't even touched yet. So because I've been playing Minish Cap all day,
Sure,
like
sure.
all day.
Yeah.
I've literally put about 8 hours into that game already today.
I want to play
I
that
don't know what it
again.
is.
Not a game I've ever played, so I do want to at least boot up. I've missed those handheld Zeldas, so definitely want to give those a go.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about the, especially the handheld ones, because like I played Link's Awakening a, on a DS emulator, on a Game Boy emulator on my phone before Link's Awakening came out as the remaster or remake that we've seen it. But this just Minish Cap. Minish Cap is the one that once Tears of the Kingdoms like had a go and it's called done its business. Um, Minish Cap is the one for me that needs the next remake or remaster because I'm enjoying it. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's great. Like it's not too difficult puzzles wise. The dungeons are pretty self-explanatory. Apart from, I'm just stuck now on one that I'm kind of running around in circles trying to figure it out. But yeah, I'm excited for the Game Boy stuff. Some of the there's so many different games that they can bring out, like old Metroid games and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things there for me to be able to play.
Sure. And so, have you played Minish Cap before?
Nope, this is my first play. Like
I did,
sure. It was the one game that I never got through to playing.
All right.
So
yeah, so I'm excited for that. So obviously, the game you're alluding to is Metroid Prime Remastered, which I'm super interested into. I will talk about a game that is taking up my time, and I'm moment. But you said you have bought it, right? You just haven't got to it. Is that correct?
yeah, it's there, downloaded, ready to go. There's two things that have stopped me from trying it and playing it. Is I've been playing Minish Cap, and then I didn't want to fire the game up and be stuck to playing it with dual sticks for the first person stuff. I never played Prime on I never played Prime on the GameCube. I played it for the first time on the Wii, so I did the whole motion control, nunchucks, and stuff like that.
Me as well.
So I wanted, so I wanted to make sure that I could play that way. Cue a message to Tim earlier because I know he's definitely been playing it, and he sent me screenshots of the control styles that you can have, and you can have modern, Wii, classic from the GameCube, and classic hybrid, so that goes with motion controls as well. So
okay.
I'm super excited. It's I don't know when I'm going to play it because tomorrow I've got the smallest one is off school tomorrow because his teachers are having a training day, so it won't be tomorrow when I play it, and then I'm working at the weekend. So,
yeah. No, I get you. I mean, I've got a full load, and I'm So as much as there might not be a ton here for me, there's enough here that I'm like, oh, I don't know. But so I'm interested in Metroid Prime as well. I definitely want to get to it. I was glad that it was a remaster. I was really afraid they were just gonna poop that thing out and not touch it. So and just make it a port. So I'm glad that it's a remaster. That's what keeps me interested. Kirby's Dream Land. I'm in on that because it's 4-player. I can play that with the kiddos. Sounds great. All day long. As I texted you or DM'd you, Advanced Wars 1 and 2, I'm going to buy that because I'm a sucker because I always feel like I love tactics games and then I play them and I don't. And then I get mad. Even though I knew exactly what I was getting myself into and I'm like, can't believe I didn't like this. No, I'm just kidding. But some I love and some I don't. So I missed Advanced Wars when I never played it when it originally. So I'll grab it and play it. I wasn't a huge fan of Wargroove because the battles took for freaking ever. And those kind of things don't really, I don't know. I just don't, I don't want battles to last that long. But yeah, I'll pick up Advanced Wars. Are you into that? You're not into that, right?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
The kind of stuff that went over my head. So
yeah. I don't know. We'll see if I'll like it or not, but I'll pick it up. And Blanc, which we already knew about, that's the 2-player in the snow fox and deer thing. And then there you go. That's me. Oh, the Disney game. The Disney game looks cool. The platforming Disney game, not Disney Dreamlight Valley.
the Mickey Mouse one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought that looked pretty good, but then at the same time, it really reminded me of something of a game that I played years and years ago. I can't remember what it was, but had the same style and look to it. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a spin off the new Mickey Mouse animated series that they've got on Disney Plus at the moment.
Oh, is it? Okay, could be. Yeah. I didn't pay attention to if it was 2-player or not. I was doing other stuff when I watched it, so but hopefully it is, because I'd like to play it with Noah or Ariel.
Yeah. I literally, like, we were watching. And people may laugh as you listen to this. I know for a fact that the Dads After Dark crew probably, we were watching Working Mums.
Mm-hmm.
is a hilarious series that we're watching at the moment. So I had one headphone in, listening to the direct as well as watching that, and a couple of things sparked my interest. The Game Boy stuff sparked my interest, and the Pikmin fight, I kind of stopped watching the TV and watched that. And then from the Game Boy, I can't remember, from the Game Boy stuff. So from the Game Boy stuff all the way till Metroid Prime Remastered, I kind of switched off, and then I heard the Metroid Prime noise and Metroid noise, and I was like, "What?" Literally, I nearly grabbed Lindsay's leg. I was like,
like a dog with a squeaky door.
Yeah, I remembered if I grabbed her leg too much and make a jump, she's obviously going to hurt her back. So I kind of stopped, but I was like, "Oh my god!" So that piqued my interest, and then everything after that kind of like burnt out until we got the Tears of the Kingdom stuff, and I was kind of like me at that as well. So
yeah, I mean, I was a little like, I don't know. Like I said, I already said my piece on it. It's going to be fantastic gameplay wise, so who cares? But overall, like I will say, as a package, man, I thought they wanted to see how many games they could throw into this thing. 36 games, 40 some minutes. I don't know. I mean, to be real honest, I kind of liked Xbox's developer direct a little bit better, in the sense of like, hey, listen, you can get 5 games. We're going to give you a good bit, but not like in the weeds good bit about it, just enough to get so you got a solid idea of what you got and you know what you're going to be getting into, and then we're going to move on. That's going to be it. Instead of these like, well, look at this one and look at that one and look at this one and look at that one, and it's like, I don't know. Sizzle
reels just don't do it for me, because I'm trying to remember how the game looked before I see the name, and then I see the name and I'm trying to remember that, but then the next game's there and it's like, that's too much information too fast.
Yeah.
Then I agree with you. With the developer direct is probably the best way forward. And that's not just because this is an Xbox podcast. I'm saying that was because it was, like you say, it was perfectly delivered. 5 games, lots of hype, enough detail, but not too much, and just kept you interested enough before they moved on to the next thing. So
yeah, this is not like, if you think we're just all about Xbox, go back and listen to us talk about their indie Xbox Direct thing, or ID Xbox Presents, or whatever they called that piece of shit. That thing was awful, and we said so. Okay, so listen, we'll gladly call out Xbox when they give us a dumpster fire. So yeah, but that was my thoughts on the Direct. I wasn't really sure what to think when going into this, to be honest. I wasn't like, oh yeah, I can't wait. There's all these things I know I'm gonna love. And I was just kind of like, I don't know. Like, let's see what they got, I guess. And I walked away like, oh, okay. Yeah, I got a decent bit to play this next 6 months. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I was listening to the Dads. I don't know if they still feel this way. I was, they podcast here in a little bit. But last week's episode I was going through, and they were talking about this could be like the Nintendo's year. Like, they might not have much on the back half of 2023, which, I mean, hey, whatever. They already had, in the first 6 months, they'll have more than Microsoft had in all of 2022. So that's fine. I mean, whatever. But at the same time, for Nintendo fans, that'd be a bummer, because they're not used to a drought like that, to not have anything in the back half. So hopefully that's not true.
Yeah, but then you got to look at what's coming out this year for Nintendo. You've just dropped 36 games in just over 40 minutes. And not only that, but you are dropping your first huge animated movie into the whole cinematic universe. You we know merchandise is starting to appear from that. McDonald's has already done all its bits and pieces in terms of Happy Meal stuff. By end of February, beginning of March, the merchandise and toys for that movie are going to hit the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make an absolute killing off the back of the movie, including all the merchandise. They've got me almost purchasing posters until I realized that I probably wouldn't be allowed to put them up anywhere and they'll just stay collected somewhere. But yeah, there's just they don't need to do a right lot at the moment with the gaming side of stuff because the movie and cinema side of it's going to be a big, huge thing. They've got all the stuff with the theme parks as well this year, so they can afford to not dwell too much on what they've got coming out game wise because, like I said, there's plenty there. If you want to sit through and try and play all those games, you've got more than one a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. I mean, a lot of those aren't their games, though. I mean, so that's kind of what I'm talking about. But they have Metroid and they have they have Metroid Prime and they have the remaster, and they have Pikmin, and so yeah, I mean they're fine. They're fine. Even if there is nothing else, they're fine. But I bet there is. But so, anyways, anything else on the Direct before we move into our events? I remembered.
No, let's move into our red events.
That's right, our big achievement hunter contest. Y'all, Sean, break down some numbers for us. Just hit us. Just hit me with some like simple facts here.
Simple facts. These are big numbers. I don't
6 or 7 digit facts. Whatever.
So obviously, our achievement hunters contest now runs from month to month. So the 1st of January to the 31st of January is the 1st of 2023. Collectively across, let me just make sure I get the numbers right. Across 12 participants, we have managed in a month collectively to rack up 240,730 Gamerscore between 17 people.
Oh my gosh. That is crazy.
Yep.
All right. So
if you want to do,
go ahead.
So on the numbers that we're running at, so that's 5 Gamerscore per entry. That is 48,146 entries.
Holy crap! Okay, so hit me with a big number. The Grand Hunter. How many points?
Yeah.
Who is he? And how many? What's his gamer score?
Yeah, well, it's the guy that's been running it from the beginning. So Carnage came first with the highest amount of Gamerscore earned for the month, and that is 107,260 Gamerscore. So he holds up pretty much 50% of all the score that we got.
That is nuts. Top 3. Give me top 3. Just
top
do
3,
the top 3 for me.
Carnage 107,260. Aragon 696,795, and then Evil Zion 40,510.
Dang, that's amazing, guys. I mean, hats off. Those are some crazy numbers. Okay, so let's get to the drawing. I don't know who's placed who, or how Sean's got who numbered out. So there's no funny business here. I take care of the draw, so Sean doesn't do that. So we have a separation of powers, as they would say. So we're gonna go to.
I literally just I tell Nick, make your number generator, pick a number from 0 to, in this case, 48146.
Which, as you guys can see, I did. You see my min max up here. 1. Okay, let me get it so that Sean can see it as well, so that he can.
Yeah.
Then I got to do fun things. But I can do hard things. All right, Sean, you see that? You good? You see my thing?
I can see that.
All right. So here we go. 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate Achievement Hunter, getting ready to generate the first number, or the first and only number, by the way. Here we go. 13,786. 13,786.
That's
13. 786.
But that goes to Carnage then, because he has one of us won through 21,452.
There you go. Carnage is the winner. Carnage. I never saw it coming. Never in a million. Just so you can see,
No.
if I hit the button, it changes. So there you go. So it wasn't at all figured that way. It could be anybody. We'll go back to Nick and Sean here. Get the Zoom taken care of. Stop share. There you go. All right. Everybody's back. We're all back. So congrats, Carnage. We'll reach out to you. We'll get you 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate. Thanks for playing. You're amazing. I'm frozen. I gotta try to figure that out. Not sure what's going on.
Yeah, and just to update everybody, because from last week we gave away 2 months of Game Pass away. The Google King didn't want to take us up on that one because he already had some things stacked out. So we very kindly passed that on to Bruce, Mr. Togobap. He should have a code somewhere now for...
Yeah, we gave it to him.
2 months of Game Pass.
Yep, he's got it. Okay, so reminder for changes for this month of February Achievement Hunters. 50 is now 1 entry instead of 5, giving Sean a little bit of a break. And then also there is a ceiling now. Get your score however you want. The ceiling is 15,000 Gamerscore. Okay, once you hit that, you get no more entries. No more entries for you. That's it. So so 15,000 is your ceiling, and I don't know, anything else before we... Oh, and hit up Sean if you want to be... We'll send out a tweet. We'll tweet it out, and then just reply to the tweet if you want to be part of the February Achievement Hunters. And do it. Do it. We love it. Yep. It's fun. I absolutely love it. I've
got the imagery all set up. I just kind of wanted to wait until we announced the winner before we did it.
Love it. Awesome. Good work, sir. Good work. 48146, making all the numbers, doing all the things, clicking all the buttons. Awesome stuff. Now, finally, let's talk Xbox top story. Okay, we don't have a ton of top stories, but this one I thought was very interesting. Redfall will require a persistent online, irregardless of if you're playing single player or if you're multiplayer. Obviously, if you're multiplayer, you gotta be online. Obviously. But they said you could play the entire game single player, yet you still have to have persistent online. What do you think about that, Sean? If you're playing, you gotta be online no matter what.
I can't remember if Left 4 Dead did that, and that's just is not an issue as long as you aren't going to have random players coming in and fucking shit up for you, basically. So you can't be invaded by there's no PvP to this game, as I believe. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's no PvP to this, so to me, it's not a problem. I'm assuming that it sucks if you've got pretty crappy internet that always drops out. You're going to be stuck in the middle of playing solo, and then all of a sudden your internet drops out and you kind of crashes the game. That's going to be a bit crap. And if that is something that's going to be an issue, they really need to work on that and give you an offline. I mean, Deathloop had it. You could jump in and out on Deathloop, being online and not online. So it's not like it's difficult for it to be worked out.
Yeah, I'm in the camp of, okay, there's a lot of people who are like, this is a nothing burger, it doesn't matter, and there's other people in the camp that are like lighting their hair on fire and running around being like, oh, I can't believe. But like, so it's not a nothing burger. There's a sector of Xbox community that this affects, and it sucks for them because they thought, oh, it's a single player game, I just won't play online. I'll download my thing, I'll come where there's good internet, I'll download my Redfall game, and then I'll come back home where I don't really have great internet, and I'll play it. They can't do that. So for whatever percentage of the sector of Xbox community that is, that sucks. And if it can be changed so that they can play without having to be online, then do it. Like, who cares? Like, I don't know. So that's I guess that's all I say. Ebicel says, boo. He thinks it's lame.
Yeah, I mean, I can't understand the need for it because obviously your Xbox will constantly sync the save file to the cloud, so they could just use their tracking software for whatever state, because it's having a constant connection to Bethesda.net account, so that can be linked to your cloud save or your cloud account for your save files through Microsoft, and then they can just take what they need from that information rather than having to constantly ping the console when the person playing online. So, and it really surprises me that Bethesda are doing this, especially when they have Deathloop as a game where you can switch between the two. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I'm guessing there's a reason for it. I would imagine. I just don't know what it is. But the only thing
the only thing I can assume is that because it is such a big game with the co-op multiplayer availability, that if at any time you think you want somebody to join you instantly, then you don't have to go through any. It could be seamless, so that person could join your game at that point, and because they've got you've got a constant connection with Bethesda.net, they can track your progress of where you are and just basically inject the person that's playing with you straight into where you are. There's no like having to go to a lobby. It gets rid of that lobby sequence.
Yeah, even if you could just be like, hey, even if you had to be like, hey, I don't have great internet, and like had to choose from the beginning to be like, I'm just gonna play this single player. Like, no, don't. I get it. If I choose this option, I will not have a co-op option. And then they don't have to worry about it for that save file. They just know that that'll be a single player only, no internet connected, no co-op online stuff. Like, that's fine. Like, you make that call and whatever works for you. But they just, I don't know. But I think there's a way to work. I would assume there's a way to work it out. And for the sector of the Xbox community that it affects, I hope they do. But right now, Redfall requires a persistent online connection. And that's really all our top stories. That's it. We got some news bulletin here.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's the biggest. That is the biggest of the top stories. That's the one that it's definitely, like you say, it's divided the camp between this is great, this isn't great. So
yeah, actually, I'm gonna pull Acquisition Watch out of Acquisition. I'm gonna make that a top story. This one, the second one is pretty big, I think, and we can have a real conversation about this. So this is my top Acquisition story watch. So the UK
make it up on the fly.
That's right. Yeah, UK regulator Sean Abbott says, no, I'm just kidding. UK regulators say Xbox Activision deal could be harmful to the industry. Okay, all right. We kind of knew they were going to say that. No big deal. Analysts predict Xbox's Activision deal will close soon. But here's the thing. Then the UK regulators say, listen, let us try to help you fix it. One, that's good for Microsoft. That means that they've got an obvious way out. Okay, they can find a solution to this problem, and UK wants to help them do that. So that's good news. But here's their solution. What you need to do is separate Call of Duty from the Activision acquisition. So basically, they acquire Activision, but they don't own Call of Duty. Call of Duty it stays with some weird version of Activision or gets sold to another rando. I don't know what happens to it. What happens to it, Sean? You're from the UK. You had to ask these people this question.
Do they allow Activision to have sole rights to how the game's published, how the game's developed, like the monetary side of things, where that goes, that they can still make it like the level of exclusivity to Sony if they want to keep that there. That basically Call of Duty becomes an entity of its own within Activision, or are they going to completely take Call of Duty away from Activision and say, the team that works solely on Call of Duty need to become removed from Activision, and you have Call of Duty as a standalone public figure. I don't know
Yeah,
how
I
you'd
don't
say that.
either. Like Bobby Kotick doesn't want to run Activision. He wants to take his like Scrooge McDuck money and go do whatever you do when you have Scrooge McDuck money. I don't even know. I'm never gonna know. But good for him for knowing.
Much more employees.
Yeah. No. Bad
Bobby.
Yeah, but it's like, what do you? So then what? You're like, you can't have it. So what? Sell it to Nintendo? I don't know. Do you give it to Sony? That would be the irony right there. If they're like, listen, you can't have it, Xbox. We'll give it to Sony. Sony will buy it from you. I don't know. It's so weird.
We aren't ever going to know the full ins and outs of how they expect this to happen. But it's taking away Call of Duty. Does that devalue Activision for Xbox and Microsoft? Does that could they turn around and say, well, if you're removing that, which is a great part of Activision to have in your arsenal, do we now want some of our money back? Does it mean that we're going to pay less for it because it's not worth as much? Does it change? Microsoft can turn around and say something like that. Yeah, that's fair enough. Then if you want to remove Call of Duty from this acquisition and separate it away, then we'll pay less. But it also says in here separating Activision and Blizzard segments and potentially selling off one or both parts. So it's not only just Call of Duty that the CMA have suggested, is also separating Activision and Blizzard. So you've got all your Activision games like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Call of Duty, other Activision games. They're the only two that I've ever really played. So the ones separate them from Blizzard, which is like your World of Warcraft and stuff like that. So again, it's splitting one developer up into three sections. You have a Call of Duty only, Activision only, and Blizzard only. You can pick and choose which bits. It makes it really messy then, because for us as consumers, where do we stand? Where do we sit? Who owns the game that we're playing? If people don't like Microsoft for whatever reason, crazy fools, do you then, and you don't play Xbox games, or like to use stuff that is involved with Microsoft, that makes it difficult for you as a consumer then, because you don't know, do I play this publisher or developer's game on another console? Who owns it? It's kind of it makes it really messy.
Yeah. No, I agree. Now they did say, however, this is the CMA speaking. However, there are other options like behavioral remedies that could also work, like making certain games and IP multi-platform in the future, even if they're under Microsoft's ownership. Of course, we know that Xbox has put forward a 10-year commitment to keep Call of Duty on other platforms, and the CMA says that such commitments will be looked at during the next remedies phase rather than this initial assessment. So the assessment seems to be fairly over. They think that this deal is no good for the industry, and now they're into trying to help them find a remedy for it. And so it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. But I think it's interesting that behavioral changes like this could work. I wonder if Microsoft's going to have to not give up. I wonder if Microsoft's going to have to make a longer commitment or add more things to the commitment. If they're going to say, hey, listen, you have Bethesda and Activision. Now, if you want to keep both of these in-house under your umbrella, you're going to have to add to that 10-year commitment, Bethesda games? So Sony would love that, right? I mean, let's be honest. If Sony could get Bethesda games out of this acquisition, I think they would love it. If they could get Starfield on the PlayStation, and I could see that being the remedy. Okay, we appreciate your 10 years, but it's got to be more than just Call of Duty. It's got to be. But could they? They can do whatever they want, probably. But can they go back and add? And I don't know. I'm not an IP lawyer or an acquisition lawyer. But can they go back and add from another acquisition? Change that structure? Probably. But I'm not real sure how it all works, but it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Now we're just negotiating, baby. They say that, that's, and I'm sure Phil's a smart guy. He knows this. They say, listen, all you need is behavioral changes. That's all Phil had to see. Phil now knows that now we just need to go to the table and say, hey, you said behavioral changes. What behavioral changes do you want to see? And let's have a conversation and let's negotiate this out and see where we land. And so the deal looks pretty bright, I would say, to be honest, through all this noise.
Yeah. And this is where, like, what are they called now? Analysts are kind of predicting that this is still going to hit for mid-May.
Really? I did not read that. Wow. That's crazy.
So analysts predict Xbox Activision Blizzard deal will close soon despite UK objections. We expect Microsoft's acquisition of Activision to close no later than mid-May. With structural remedies being that they take Call of Duty away out of the deal or remove Activision and leave just Blizzard in the deal so they don't actually ever get to own Activision. They just have Blizzard and everything else that comes under that, like King. Or to instead agree to a set of behavioral remedies, which might potentially include a 10-year Call of Duty offer to Sony, Nintendo, and Steam, which, this wasn't taken into account in yesterday's CMA report. So that 10-year deal wasn't already there in the initial report that they've done. So, like you said, they're now moving into the remedies section of it all. We've still got the FTC lawsuit that is still being there. That we've not heard any news from that in the last few weeks. But
so if they think it's going to close, that means, it's one thing if they can. We haven't heard anything from FTC. Actually, what we've heard is see you in August at a court hearing of some sorts. So if they think it's going to close, that means that they think that the negotiations with the UK, they think that's going to close. And I think the only thing I can think is that that's going to push the FTC to then kind of agree with whatever you guys come up with. I
think that's probably why they went to August anyway, because they know that we're going to be, they know the CMA is going to be stringent enough to make sure that this doesn't damage anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting, and I'm here to see how it plays out. I'd really like to get some games on Game Pass from Activision or Blizzard. That would be fantastic. I also don't care if they come to Sony, and I don't understand why Microsoft would, to be honest. Like, I don't know.
No.
Like, I don't know that they care. They may, but it's like they get to put them on. They can put them on Game Pass, which will increase subs, but yet they'll also get to make some money from Sony, and they'll get to make full price money from Sony. You get to pay $70 for this crap.
Yeah, people who play Call of Duty via a PlayStation are still going to go out and purchase Call of Duty for the PlayStation. It's not going to change how they buy it. It doesn't matter where it is. And then if they can add it to things like Steam and to Nintendo, and Nintendo still get a little slice of the pie, it's more income revenue. You've got more places that the money's coming from. So I can't see why Microsoft would be like, we're never going to hold this game to ransom. It's going to be available everywhere. Just that there might be small deals within having a Game Pass subscription and playing it on the Xbox that you might get certain skins before everybody else does, or you might get the game might come to you a few days early, like it has done on the Sony in previous years.
Yeah, I think there's a million ways to make this work, and I think Phil knows that. I think that's why he's not super worried about it. But when I read the remedy of the behavioral, I was like, this is all good. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find a solution for this if they are willing to say that out loud. So that's cool. All right, so that's our top stories, our acquisition top stories watch. News bulletin: Atomic Heart is preload. The preload is live, playable on the 21st, which actually crazy is not that far away. Little over. Nope. About 2 weeks, 10 days, something like that. I don't know. That's hard.
It's done. It's downloaded. It's sat there on my dashboard telling me I still can't play it.
There you go. I already said I'm gonna give it a go. We'll see how far I make it before I nope out. Which will probably happen. What happened to Xbox's resolution boost program? I don't know, Sean. What did happen to it?
So Microsoft have done a pretty amazing job over the last few years on enhancing the old libraries and bringing them forward to the newer consoles into the Xbox One X era. So taking 360 games and original Xbox games and making them look pretty, taking them all the way up to like 1080p in some cases, giving them the whole HD treatment. But before the Series X and the Series S were launched, there was a lot of talk about having a performance boost and graphics boost and resolution boost to bring them forward into the next gen. So giving them the whole 4K run and stuff like that. We haven't seen any of that. It was promised that 2015 Gears of War was going to get like a full 4K ray tracing boost, chuck it forwards.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still sat there as a 1080p title. There's, it's never got the Series X treatment, as people keep saying. So it was just a talking point. I read the article on Pure Xbox and I was like, this is really interesting. Like, why haven't they taken these titles that they promised to take before the console was, before the consoles were developed and built and sold, and then they just haven't delivered it. I mean, there's some pretty awesome games in this list of games that they promised just looking at the figure. Things like Sunset Overdrive, which if you could run that at 4K with a load of depth, that game was absolutely crazy as it was anyway. But if you could have the graphics running smoother and everything, like the frames per second boosted and stuff like that, that game would be absolutely fantastic. The same with all the Gears of War titles. If you got them in 4K with people's faces rendered and stuff like that, that it'd just be it'd take the game to the next level.
So there's 130 boosted titles. This is interesting. I just clicked on the link that was in the link. Who's Ronald? It just says in the interview, Ronald explained. Ronald McDonald? Who are we talking about here? No idea. Maybe it's less interesting than I thought when you don't know who this guy is. He says I literally cannot find who Ronald is in this title, which is pretty funny. We're always looking at new ways that we can enhance titles, whether it's resolution, increased frame rate improvements, things like auto HDR. I'll say right now, with existing technique that we have with FPS boost, we've tried plenty more for frames per second boosted titles, and in some cases the vast majority of the games work great, but then we find a game breaking bug 80% of the way through and all our work is lost. So I wonder if they were putting too much work in and not getting enough titles to make it to the finish line or something like that. If I knew who Ronald was, I might trust this a lot more, but I have no idea. Oh, there it is. Xbox Director of Project Management, Jason Ronald. There it is. Okay. All right. Makes me feel better now that I can actually tell you who Ronald is. So, yeah, I wonder if that's part of it. It's cool to have, but, I mean, listen, I have an S, so I don't care. Whatever. That's for...
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, like, if they gave Psychonauts, the original, an FPS and the graphics boost to bring it up a little bit, how interested would you be in going back and playing that game all over again, but it looking nicer?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That game that would need a lot of help. I remember playing that game and that was a rough go. Maybe if it was remastered with yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's my box quote for that idea.
Yeah, I know you're not a big fan of replaying games anyway. So
no, but that one I never actually even played. I never got all the way through it. I got through like a level and a half, and I was like, "This is too rough." The problem with that, and I think some of these is the reason I have issues with a lot of these older games. It's not just the graphics. To be honest, I don't really care about the graphics. It's more the like quality of life things, where you're just like, "Oh my god, we've come so far since this game came out. Like this is just not like I don't wanna deal with this anymore." So yeah, that's kind of
that's why you. that's where for me, like the original handheld Zeldas, you'd think I'd get really annoyed with having to only have two items out at any time and having to like swap between the two, going into the pause menu,
Yeah, I would.
like allocating it. But it doesn't bother me at all. It seems really natural. So
God bless you. God bless you. I'm out on. Well, I don't know. I mean, if I can get behind it enough, I'll do it. Which I guess I did with a game we'll talk about here shortly. Kind of fell in love with, but yeah, for the most part, man, that's rough. Any other news bulletins, top stories, anything like that before we move on to Game Pass headlines?
no, let's take a swipe through this big chunk of news that I have written out for us.
Yeah, man, out since last. Okay, so we talked about RoboQuest, and we've talked about some of these. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't know if we did actually talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I've not played it, so I don't know.
But this is all the games since our last episode which have been released is RoboQuest, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Age of Empires 2, Inclusionati, Darkest Dungeon, Grid Legends, and Hot Wheels Unleashed. They're all the games like that have dropped on Game Pass over the last week and just like a week and a bit, maybe 2 days. So yeah, there's a lot there.
Huh.
Been a lot to play.
So here you go. Here's some fun. It's one. Oh, that's Adventure. Oh, that's interesting. JoJo's Bizarre Venture dropped in. I don't know if it's the same thing or not. Dropped in 1998, a first version of it. But JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a Capcom developed game. The game was developed with the same team. It was originally released in the arcade in 1998. This is very interesting.
It has a different name. I'm currently looking at the Game Pass app very quickly because I didn't write its full name down because I'm lazy.
Well, no more than me. It's a popular manga in Japan, though.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle
Okay. Yeah, I'm reading about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Heritage for the Future. So it's a manga is what it is, which is okay, there you go. Now we've learned something, and I feel like our listeners feel like we've learned. I don't know. Okay, let's move on.
It's like a Street Fighter game, basically, just with that character selection from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is a big magnet kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Grid Legends I didn't play. Did you dabble with Darkest Dungeons, or did you not get around to playing that?
I never played it. Isn't that a roguelike?
It is a roguelike.
Yeah, no, I didn't play it.
I thought you said you were going to give it a go because the Dead After Dark crew were talking about it quite a bit. So,
well, I say a lot of things, Sean. I probably did say that, Sean. Sounds great.
Those are the games that are there and available to have been able to play over the last week. I have played 2 of these, which we'll talk about in a little bit. What's new today, though, is SD Gundam Battle Alliance, which I have no idea what that is, and I didn't put any blurb in the doc about it because I was too busy doing other bits with it. And Madden NFL 23, which it's American football. I
still want you to play American football. I still want you to play a Madden game. Just like a 5-minute, 4-quarter Madden game. It would be so much fun. I would absolutely love it. I would watch it all day long. I'd say I'd play a soccer game, but I don't feel like it would have the same, like, it wouldn't be the same as you, like, because, like, I don't, have you, because I've played soccer games before, but have you ever played, like, a football game before? American football?
No, I've never played an American football game. I've never played a baseball game either, so.
Dude, I just feel like it'd be so fun to watch you just dive right in. Like I tried to do with cricket, and it was an absolute nightmare. That was horrible. I thought I'd be able to at least understand it a little bit, and I never could.
So, Gundam Battlestar Alliance, basically, if you're looking at the pictures, is beat 'em up with Transformer-looking robots. It's the best I can describe it. I think there is a bit of a lore behind this. Mobile suits and characters from across mobile suit Gundam history take center stage in its all-new action RPG. So,
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's a battler; it's an action RPG. It's not. I mean, you fight with robots, but it's not like a Smash type of fight. It's like
no,
it's an action RPG type thing. Wow, Amazon really needs to work on their descriptions. That's lame. Anyway, so yeah, action RPG, mech battler. Mech's never really been a like. I don't know. They don't really. I don't really care about them that much. And we'll talk about Inkelnati and Hot Wheels because you played a little Hot Wheels. I played Inkelnati. I was hot on that for a hot second. Coming next week though, Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. Where are we finding these games at? That's a great Valentine's game. Mount and Blade. Cloud console.
I think that's probably why it was dropping on February 14th.
Hey, honey. Mount and Blade dropped tonight on Game Pass. Let's, never mind. Set forth on an epic adventure in a fictional Dark Ages sandbox that combines strategy and action RPG gameplay. Actually, it kind of sounds like fun now that I'm reading it. Carve out your own kingdom. And I'm saying this, Sean, but don't expect that I'm going to play the damn thing next week, okay? So, yes, I said
you said you were interested.
That's right, yeah. Don't expect that I've played it, okay? Let me just say that right now. It's a prequel to the critically acclaimed Mount and Blade Warband. There you go. Oh, February. You doing the next one? Go for it.
Yeah, February 15th, Cities Skyline Remastered, coming on the cloud and to the console. City Skylines is an award-winning, best-selling management game, now remastered for the Xbox Series X and S, with all of its robust city simulation gameplay and unique charm along the ride. Design, build, and manage the city of your dreams, from public services to civic policies, and challenge yourself to grow from a simple town to a bustling metropolitan hub. So this just sounds just SimCity, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's fantastic. It's like SimCity on steroids. I bought the Switch version of it, and yeah, it's intense. Like, but it's really fun. It's one of those games that if I was a like back in kid time and I didn't have anything like life to do, I could see myself getting sucked in on something like this for a few hours a day. But that's not the life I'm at right now. So no City Skylines for me. Sean, I'm not gonna lie. If you would have said, "Hey Nick, is Shadow Warrior 3 on Game Pass?" I would have said, "Yeah, it is," because I really thought it was, but apparently it's not. But it will be on February 16th. Shadow Warrior 3, the definitive edition. Is it? Are they just adding a new edition? Like, is Shadow Warrior 3 on there? Oh, man, I swore that was on there.
I shall look while you chat about this one.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. But this is a trek across a mythic Asian land infused with the magic and technology of ancient samurai, now overrun by the demonic yokai from Japanese folklore. Experience the definitive edition of Shadow Warrior 3 with tons of new features and modes with fast-paced gunplay, razor-sharp melee combat, and spectacular free-running movement system. It's spectacular, people!
Yep, it's so spectacular that Nick already thought it was there, and it's really not.
There you go. I can't. Okay. Anyways, moving on. So that is all that is out next week.
It is. For what's new that's been announced, I am not entirely certain we've had anything else new really dropped and given to us since the developer direct. Even though we keep getting little snippets of extra games in between with the whole image that Xbox drop every now and then.
So, that's true.
But for games that are leaving February 15th, we have Prestige, Crossfire X, Infinix, Recompile, Skull the Hero Slayer, and The Last Kids on Earth, which The Last Kids on Earth is probably a good one to play with the kiddos. So I'd probably try and play that before it leaves if you are planning on playing anything over the half-term holiday if you're in the UK.
I tried to play that game with the kids, and I had a lot of controller issues. Like the kids' controller kept like unsyncing, and it just like I don't know. We stopped playing because it got annoying. I had to keep like resyncing the controller for them, and it just was no good. Skull the Hero Slayer too, by the way. That's gotten some pretty good acclaim. So yeah. And remember, 20% off. Go ahead, sir.
Was Besiege not the one where you built like the battering rams and stuff like that? And
yeah, where you watched Nick realize that he's definitely not an engineer while I played that online. Yep, that's the one. That's the one where I made these god-awful creations. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's... Sean's like...
Interesting sandbox game.
Yeah.
Go try it.
Sean was just frustrated because he's like, hey Nick, he'd be like texting me like, hey Nick, there's a lot easier way to do this. You've gone the long way to get there. It was so like, listen, Sean, I'm not an engineer, okay?
And for games with gold, there's been a change. So Iris Falls has disappeared, and For the King, which we talked about last week, is now up there for grabs with games with gold. Alongside Autonauts, which by February the 15th will have disappeared. So you've got 5 days left to claim Autonauts if you want to.
Autonauts.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
No.
Autonauts.
I can.
Autonauts. I don't know. I'm just trying to help you out, Sean.
Every time.
5 days left.
I didn't even say. Anyway. Yeah.
All right, that is our top stories and our Game Pass headlines, and we are going to move on to what we've been playing, commonly known as the Xbox Spotlight.
So, what have you been playing, Nick? Tell us what you have been playing.
Oh, well, I will start with Inkle Naughty. I'm not gonna lie, I really liked this game until I realized that it was a roguelike. It's a 2D. I know. I'm sorry, roguelike fans, but it's not for me. It's a 2D turn-based strategy game. So you are the Inkle Naughty, which is like this little author guy, and you kind of write these characters. FYI, Sean, there is like a. So you would not like it through the entire you know, every time you choose something to be written onto the page, it goes. So the first thing I thought was like, oh, Sean's not gonna like this game. And you drop these characters in, and you have so many ink points, and that's how you can figure out how many characters you can get. There's some fun strategy too, so you can attack characters, but if you're right next to an enemy or anything really, you can push it. And if you can, I feel like there's a song that should start playing right there. And if you can. If something's right behind the person that you're pushing, normally it goes one square over. But if something's occupying that square, then it goes to the next available square. And if you can get it to a point to where you can push that person far enough, it'll push them right off of the page. So there's like fun strategy on how to attack, and you might come up to somebody to like hit them with a sword and then realize you've put yourself in the untenable situation to where when it's their turn, they can just push you straight off the page and be done with you. So, and your Inkle Naughty, your little author person is on the page oftentimes. It's kind of like a chess game oftentimes, because it's not really about getting all the people destroyed. It's really about getting the Inkle Naughty. It's kind of like a chess game where your Inkle Naughty's the king, you know, and you got to try to protect them while also attacking the enemies. So it was fun. The problem was I got like 2 worlds in and died. You have 3, I think they're feathers, I can't remember. Anyways, you have 3 of something, 3 lives basically. And when they're all gone, you start from the very beginning again. Now, you do take some things with you, some, is it legacy points or legend points or something like that, that you can use to upgrade and get better people. So to make it easier, like roguelikes do. But yeah, I don't want to go through. And the battles are procedurally generated, so you're not going to have the same battle every time. You'll have the same amount of enemies, but like the things on the map will be different. There might be different objects, or the enemies might be in different places when you start. So it does look a bit different in that sense. I think the gameplay is fun. I just wish if I beat 2 worlds that I didn't have to go back to the beginning. I wish I could just, progress like you're supposed to in video games. Sorry. I'm back playing Mario Rabbids, Sean, playing with Noah. I said, listen, I'm playing with you or without you, kid. So you figure it out, because we beat Pokemon. I was like, we need another game, and I need to finish Mario Rabbids. So, and he was like, okay, something like that. But now he's loving it. He does the exploring in the actual world, and then when we get to a battle, he hands me the controller. I play the battle, and then he tells me I did it wrong. And then once I'm done with the battle, I hand him back the controller, and on we move. GoldenEye, my first ever N64 game, that I've played nowadays that I actually like. I mean, buddy, this game is fun. I love this game. I am having a blast. Although I'm stuck in Kyrgyzstan. I can't remember. Anyways, it's like 8 levels in. I can't beat the guy with the briefcase. He keeps killing me. I looked it up too, and I
shoot him.
I tried. Well, actually, you're not supposed to shoot him. That's how I died the first 3 times, because I was shooting him, and they're like, and then I looked it up because I got sick and tired of just having to do this, and they're like, no, you can't kill him. You have to run after him. And I was like, well, freaking A! I would have known that. So I ran after him, but then I missed him, and I don't know. I need his freaking briefcase, and I can't seem to get it. He runs away from me, and then I die in an explosion. So I got to figure that out. But no, I really am enjoying just having like silly fun with this game. It's fun, and I'm really enjoying it. I will see my way through it slowly, if I can ever beat this level.
Yeah, we have a question from Chris NHL 94 about this later on as well when we get to the party chat section. So interesting to look back to that.
Yeah, that's fun. And then finally, the problem, as I am. Paid $10 because I knew there was no way I was playing this game today. I had too much on my plate today to play today, but I wanted to play, and Tuesday was completely open, and I looked up early access, and it was like I could start playing 72 hours in advance, which was Tuesday. And Sean, as I was going to see how much it cost, I was like, listen, if it's $10, if it's only $10 more, I'm doing it. I was like, but any more than that, Nick, do not cave. Guess how much it was? $10 on the nose more to get it. And I was like, all right, I'm doing it. So I bought that. I bought the deluxe edition so that I could start playing on Tuesday. And I'm loving it. It's pretty. It sounds great. And this is from a guy who's not like, oh, I love Harry Potter. That's my favorite world. No, I've seen a few of the movies. I've never read a book. So a lot of this stuff is like brand new to me. Never in my entire life, never read a book, not a Harry Potter book, just a book. No. So most of this stuff is like brand new. Like I've heard of it, like it's like, oh, butterbeer. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I've heard of people talk about that.
So out of the 2 guys in this podcast that could be playing a Harry Potter game early, it's the guy that hasn't really done much Harry Potter stuff. Yeah.
I wanted to get through the movies before the game dropped, and then I kind of forgot about it when it got pushed, and then I never got back to it. I think I made it like 2 or 3 movies in. I can't remember. I've
read all the books, watched all the films. I've been to the studio where it was filmed and walked around, done the tour.
Yeah, so I'll be interested in your take. You play in this game. Sorry, you play in this game as you come in as a 5th year, which is apparently a really amazing thing. Like people are like, oh, a 5th year beginning student. I don't know, whatever. And but what I can say is the combat. I was really worried that the combat wouldn't be fun. It would be slow or monotonous, or it'd be like you're trying awkward to use this like magic wand, but it's really fast. Everything's mapped, and they don't like you're learning spells at a pretty fast rate, so it's not like you're like, oh, all I can do is this little thing. And so you do have like school that you go to, but that has been fun. You go to this class, and it's not like you got to listen to this lady talk. When you go to a class, they're usually teaching you a new spell or a new skill, and then you do like a little mini game where you get to use that skill. And I've enjoyed it. They jump you right into combat right away, so you get to get a feel of that. The tutorial is really well done. The story, I'm having a great time with the story. Everything is voiced over, which is really nice. I just get to kind of basically listen to it and enjoy the moments. I'm hoping they let me a little bit more free. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't made it super far into the game. I'm probably only like 3 or 4 hours in, so I'm hoping they give me some freedom, because right now they're really kind of like go here, now go here, and I'm enjoying it, but like I want to just be like, just let me free in this awesome castle in Hogsmeade. It seems like a very dense, it's not a super large map, but it's very dense. There's a lot to see and a lot to do in a small space, and you have this castle which is like on a map is smaller, but there's so many levels to this thing, and different parts and all this stuff, and it's pretty fantastic. You unlock these flues, which I don't know if that's a real thing in Harry Potter, where you flue flames, where you can teleport to different parts of the castle. Okay, yeah, see, so there you go. I didn't know.
Flue powder.
Yeah, there you go. And so that's how you get from different parts of the castles, and you can fast travel. There's a lot of things you can do that is just fun, and they did a good job to not hinder you to make it not fun, right? Like I really was expecting, okay, you cast a spell and you're like, magic goes down, right? And so you can only cast so many spells. No, you're just free to cast spells however the hell you want and just have fun with it. And I really appreciate about this game where sometimes like developers are like, let's lock them down here, and make them do that, and then it takes away from the whimsy of the game and the just the fun of it. And that's not done here, and I appreciate that. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. I have no idea how long this game is. It's probably really long, and I'm probably gonna be playing it for a super long time. But I'm really, really enjoying it. So that's all I got.
Yeah, I should get to pick my copy up today, but with Metroid Prime Remaster and Minish Cap, it's kind of like, I don't know if I might let it sit for the weekend because I'm not gonna be able to play it, and I'll go and pick it up next week. So I have a bit more time to play next week.
Have you gone? You can go online now and pick like your basic stuff and so you can get through that. So like the sorting hat will choose who you want, and I don't know. There's a lot of stuff you can do on this website that I don't know, some Harry Potter website that it sent me to, and I did the stuff on my phone and then went back. Anyways, and it's fun, and I'm enjoying it to the sense, Sean, where it's like, I just blew through 30 minutes looking at like several, like you go into Hogsmeade and they're like, well, you need a wand now from what happened. I don't want to give away anything. And so you go talk to this wand guy, and I spent like 30 minutes making my wand. I was like, what the hell just happened to the time? Why did I spend 30 minutes creating this stupid wand? Like, but I don't know. I'm just like into it to that point to where I'm like spending a lot of times customizing it so that I'm like, that's exactly how I want it, So yeah, it's got me pretty hooked right now. But, today I was like, I really want to be playing that, but I got to put this stupid loft bed together. Dang you, Noah. You better like this.
Well, hopefully tomorrow he will like it, and it'll all been for.
He's gonna, it will. He'll love it. He'll love it. So, what about you, sir? What you been playing?
So I finished Wreckfest last week. We talked about how I was close to finishing. I'd gone into the last championship, and I was close to finishing that. I rolled the credits on it, and I won all the championship cups, did all that jazz. And then it opens up tournaments for you. So I started looking at those. They're fun. There was one of them where I was driving around in what looked like a little battery-powered car, the tiny little kids one, and you could fire giant snowballs and wreck the other cars, and you had to wreck so many and earn so many points. And as much fun as they were, I can't see myself constantly going back and racking up loads of fame points in that to unlock, because basically all you're doing is you're unlocking more skins for the cars.
Mm-hmm.
So I am done. I am done with Wreckfest. It's finished, deleted from the console. no longer playing that. I tried Age of Empires 2 via the cloud because it said it had touch controls. And the last game that I played with touch controls was As Dusk Falls, which worked really, really well because it didn't overlay the controller to do it. It kind of let you tap on different things and you had a bit more freedom. So I thought that'd be really cool. I can play Age of Empires on my phone at work and use my finger to drag and select. No, it didn't work like that at all. It did the overlay of the controllers and had the analog sticks there, and I was like, they've kind of, for me, half-assed the touch controls. They could have done a lot better and made basically touch and click and go kind of thing. But so that lasted all of about 5 minutes worth of play. I didn't even make it through the tutorial because I don't like playing those style of games where you did it with a mouse pointer via an analog stick and or a controller, which is probably why I wouldn't go to City Skylines, because it just it's like why I dropped out of 2 Point Campus, because I got sick and tired of the whole cursor thing with. So yeah,
2 Point Campus does it pretty well, but I do agree that City Skylines can be frustrating on the Switch, doing the the joysticks. Yeah, it much better, well played game on the PC with the mouse.
And then the other game that I played was Hot Wheels Unleashed, the Game of the Year edition, which we were really excited about getting because it'd been teased all of the back end of last year. I played a couple of races and then suddenly realized very quickly that game's very boring. For somebody that likes racing games, I was like, I'm not taking my finger off the trigger. There's no having to brake for corners or anything like that. The only thing that's keeping me playing this is I like the cars that I'm unlocking because I have a nostalgia for Hot Wheels cars and a big fascination with Logan and the Hot Wheels Monster Truck series. So that was the only thing that was keeping me going. And then I kind of was like, nope. I think I did 7 or 8 of the races for the story mode and just got really bored really, really fast. Even dabbled with a little bit of the online, but I got my ass handed to me because the cars I had weren't upgraded enough to keep up with the people that were online.
That sucks.
So I kind of just
yeah.
I wrote it off, which it's not a bad game. If you want to get this for the kids and let them play it, that's great. It's a fantastic racer for kids. It's an arcade style. They'll love the fact that they can build all their own courses, design. You can go in and customize your basement, you have like your kitchen, stuff like that, your hobby room. There's lots of stuff you can do with that, which I actually had more fun customizing those than I did playing the game. So,
and then you beat Forza Hot Wheels, right? Like you went through all that content.
Yeah, I went through that's a great version of Hot Wheels for adults. Go and play that one because it's more of a simulator than an arcade.
Sure.
So. Been playing lots of Warzone still because I'm trying to finish off the battle pass, the season pass before it ends. Like I've got like another 5 days, which I don't think I'm going to get that finished either. I'm at 87% complete. So, but the main reason for me wanting to finish it is that I've got 800 COD points at the moment, and if I finish it, you get another 300 COD points, which allows me to buy the next season pass without actually spending any real money.
Nice.
So, and then the final game, which has taken up most of the time that I could play today because I had to go and have some blood tests done, so I had to sit and wait in the waiting room. So I took the Switch with me, and I played a lot of Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap today. It's great. It's been such a good, fun little game to play. I've never played it before. I'm a sucker for the handheld style Legend of Zelda games anyway. So, yeah.
I'm going to have to
That's probably what I'm going to take. I'm going to take the Switch with me at the weekend to work, and if I can, try and play some of it. But I get to finish early tomorrow because I've got my the next 100-lap race tomorrow. So
fun! I want updates.
I managed to get the GoPro working, so I charged the batteries on it because I felt like I had an issue with it, and it's working. So I've ordered a mount for the helmet, which speaking to the guys at the track I'm allowed to use because it's not like it's on the helmet, it's not on my person. So hopefully they'll have a couple of little lap videos and stuff like that of how it goes.
That is fun. Yeah, I want to see some of those. That's cool. I'd be really interested to see what that looks like.
And hopefully tomorrow I want to try and play some Metroid Prime remastered. I can't see it being too scary for Logan to kind of be around, so
Sure.
he'll probably be quite interested. If not, he's playing Minecraft at the moment. He's really getting into playing Minecraft at the moment, so he'll probably sit and play on Minecraft while I play that.
That's cool. Ariel is as well. She's when we've been playing. Noah and I have been playing a lot together, single player, but like Pokemon and then Mario Rabbids. Like I said, swapping controller back and forth. And when we do that, she's been asking, "Can I play Minecraft on Noah's Switch?" And so she's been doing a lot of Minecrafting. So that's cool. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, he has no. I don't think he's got an idea of what he's doing. He just likes to run around and collect things, and he likes to mine and place blocks. So yeah, he's having fun with it.
Yeah, she's playing in the creative mode, building this like I don't know, super tall cathedral. I mean, it kind of looks. I mean, it's just really tall. That's all she's doing. She's like, "Look, Dad." Every time she gets done with another like super tall row of the wall, she's like, "Look, Dad," and I'm like, yeah, "Looks like the same with one more piece of the wall." Way to go, sis. No, I'm not a jerk. I don't say that.
He's been watching people make traps for Enderman on YouTube. So he's trying to make a water trap for Enderman and
man, that's
and
awesome.
Creepers and stuff.
That is really cool.
Which is getting a lot of his big sister, like Emily's, having to help him out quite a bit because he gets stuck and he occasionally mines that far down that he falls underneath the bedrock. He's done that a couple of times because you can do that. I didn't realize you could do that in creative mode, that you can drop below the bedrock. Like he handed it to me and I was like, what have you done? I have never seen this before.
Yeah. Yeah, Ariel did that. Ariel's done that a couple times. She thinks it's really cool. She's like, "I'm under the world, Dad. Look at me." I'm like, way to go.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I've been playing, which is quite a lot for somebody that's been busy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, all right. Well, then let's go to our party chat.
So our pie chat is mainly made up of Bruce because he asked a couple of questions last week. Not that they were last minute. I do apologize for not involving Bruce, but when you ask a question, I like, especially when it's some of the information, like some of the stuff that you're asking, I like to delve and dive and do a little bit of reading. So the first question that he gave us was, if I can get Xbox Minecraft achievements using the Nintendo Switch version, can I get Xbox achievements for Minecraft Dungeons for the Switch? I'm assuming yes, because the Minecraft achievements from the Switch lapse over as well. So I think if you fired the game up for Minecraft Dungeons on the Xbox and you signed in to your Mojang account, which is linked to your Switch, which would be linked to the Switch version of Minecraft Dungeons, it should pull them across. Don't hold me on that. There's a couple of articles where people have said, "Oh yeah, I've noticed that when I've done it, you won't get all the same achievements, but what you get is just an achievement, and it's so much percentage of it that allows you to have Gamerscore." And it'll say something like Minecraft Dungeons for Switch version.
Yeah, I can't remember what game we were playing, and we said this. We were like, yeah, if you log in and if you log into the game on your Xbox after playing on the Nintendo, then you like get all these achievements that rack up. And I did get that, but then I listened to Dad's After Dark and Kuz was on there and he was like, "Yeah, I listened to Game Pass and they said this, but I didn't get it." So I don't know how it all works. Like I'm not sure, but yeah, sometimes I think that stuff can be finicky. Like it just doesn't catch it maybe. I'm not sure, but
so the answer of yes comes from reading different articles that I found. So if you get stuck, there is stuff out there to guide you through it. But yeah, I'd definitely go and have a Google and try.
For sure.
Here's next question is why aren't TurboGrafx 16 games available on the Xbox? They are, or at least one game is available. I found a review for Moto Roda MC. Somebody has done a review for that, and they played it on the Xbox Series X, so that is available. Any I haven't found any versions of any other titles that were on that game, but what I did find out is back in 2018, I believe, they made a TurboGrafx Mini. 2019, sorry, they made a TurboGrafx 16 Mini that was announced at E3 2019 that Konami were going to make. Came loaded with 60 games. Sorry, with the first 6 games. So if you're interested in playing some TG16 stuff, you can do it that way. But so far, I believe there is only one game that has made it to Xbox.
Were you ever a? Did you ever play? Were you ever into TurboGrafx games?
No,
Yeah,
it's Zelda or SNES was for me as a child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was all Nintendo console. Yeah, I never dabbled in the turbo. I didn't dabble in anything else other than the Nintendo stuff. So, there you go.
And then Bruce's final question is: does Xbox give gifts or discounts to people on their birthdays like Nintendo gives 15% discount?
I didn't even realize we got a 15% discount on our birthday. I didn't know that was a thing.
Neither did I. I was like, oh, that's great. I need to figure out how on earth that works.
Yeah.
But what Microsoft do is they give you, I can't remember if they give you Microsoft points. So if you sign up to the reward program, which you can do from your console, you just find the reward program and sign in through there. As long as you've done that and that you have an Xbox Live account, so that you're a gold member, and that you've got a Gamerscore of at least 3,000 on the first day of the month, which your birthday occurs, you'll receive a birthday gift from Microsoft Xbox Live Rewards. You can expect to receive that via email early in the month if your birthday falls. Of the month that your birthday falls in, the birth date we use to determine this is one associated with your Xbox Live account. So they basically they give you
wait, are they really just
points, which you can.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going. My bad.
Yeah. So they just give you reward points, which you can use to either enter into sweepstakes for consoles or donate to charity, or if you accumulate enough, which we talked about in a previous podcast, you can, put it towards your Game Pass subscription or your Live subscription.
Sean, it's 20 points. That's so that I
didn't say it was much.
As this guy says, sorry, I don't know if you were. As this guy says, that is super lame. I can't agree with him more. 20 points is lame. Like, give me 100 at least. Oh my gosh, 20 points.
Yep.
Come on, Microsoft.
Well, if I want at least 200, because at least for 200 points, you can enter into a sweepstake to win an Xbox
there
Series
you go.
X.
Do that. Oh my gosh, 20 points. Jeez, old Friday.
Yeah. So no, they don't do anything like Microsoft, like Nintendo do. Nintendo's 15% off is a lot better than 20 points.
Seriously,
they do something.
I need to get in on the 15%. I can tell you that much.
And then our last question is from Chris NHL94, and I mentioned this earlier on in the podcast. For all the N64 GoldenEye fans, what is your favorite multiplayer scenario / settings?
When we play, I haven't played since it came out, recently. But when I used to play, it was proximity mines or the golden gun thing. We like the golden gun thing.
I was facility, proximity mines, first to 10 kills.
Yeah,
that was the one that we'd always do. because it was just hilarious because you just run around and chuck them everywhere and and laugh at each other as you were.
Mm-hmm. And then somebody was talking about knives. I totally forgot about knives only. I never really got anything. I know slappers only was like a big thing. We never cared about that all that much. But yeah, we did do the throwing knives every once in a while as well. So
Throwing knives is a skill though. That's like, yeah. But the slappers only is always funny. It always takes me back to Austin Powers, the slappers only, where you karate chop.
Yeah.
But then when I played a game with Chris and Dillian on it, and that was really funny at one point because I think I was chasing Chris around, and I said, "Come back here and let me slap you," because I had no weapon and he was running away from me. So, yeah,
that's funny.
Well, anyway, I'm super tired. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and
that's a show, buddy.
You have emptied the last bit of your energy from dadding all day into this, so I will roll us out. Thank you everyone for listening. If you want to get in touch with us via any of our social accounts, you can do. That's Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Everything is at Game Pass News. If you want to drop us an email, send your picture in for the Achievement Hunters for February, or just ask us a question, you can do by sending an email to gamepassnewscast@gmail.com. If you're listening to this via a podcasting app, please, if you can, give us some stars, give us some rating, give us some feedback. It helps us get there, helps us get listened to by more people. If you want to join us in the Discord and chat to us there, you can do. Subscribe to our Twitch channel and we will sort your access. If you want any awesome merchandise with our face, our logo on, you can do by going over to redbubble.com and find our store, Game Pass News. Thanks very much to Rev yourself for dominating the live chat. It's great to hear from you, bud, and hope that you are well. And until next time, guys, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.